Hey, everybody. Welcome to Media Talk. I'm Jamie, and I'm here with Devlin.
Hello.
Dev, since it's Friday the 13th, technically, for 40 minutes,
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot.
uh, let's talk about the Friday the 13th movies.
All right, actually, while we are bringing that up, I wanted to show this. It is the 8 movie collection of Friday the 13th, from the very first one all the way to Jason Takes Manhattan.
I have
It's
that
pretty
too. You're
cool.
not special.
Did you know there's a bonus features that
You're
even
not
shows
special.
a little short clip called sub called Lost Tales from Camp Blood?
I I did know that. I haven't watched it though.
Yeah, and the bonus features, actually in each one there's a bonus feature of Lost Tales of Camp Blood, part one, the first one, part two, the second, and I think it goes on, but as far as I'm concerned, that's all I've been able to watch so far.
Hmm,
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, very.
All right. So, which one's your favorite Friday the 13th?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say, damn. Um, which one's the one? I would probably have to say probably the third one, either the third one or maybe part two.
Part two.
I
That's not
know.
one I hear a lot of people say is their favorite.
I think it's bearable because I've seen part two so many times more than the other ones because it was
I'm
just on
sorry.
TV during those times.
I don't like part two.
Not a lot of people do. I think it's because of Jason's look,
Oh,
and
I
like I
have
do
no problem
understand.
with the baghead Jason. I just don't like the movie.
Oh yeah, well, I like it, but probably because I've grown to get used to it. Besides that, the other kind of like I don't know if you'd count this Friday the 13th. The other only movies I really became a big fan of was Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, I love Freddy versus Jason.
That's a good one. I would say Jason Takes Manhattan is also a good one, but that one's like more cheap, like really it's really weird to watch
Yeah,
sometimes.
I'm not a huge fan of Jason Takes Manhattan either. But that's
It is.
because he's in Manhattan for like 20 minutes.
It's also just like it's more goofy than anything else,
Yeah,
and I do enjoy it.
you can say that it's very self-aware at least.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not one of those bad movies that takes itself seriously. So it's got that
Hmm.
going for it. It's a lot better
Right.
than Jason Goes to Hell, which is
I've seen that one.
so
That one
bad.
did have a cool ending though. That's the one that actually showed Freddy's hand coming up to take his mask down, which was it like thing making people wait for
Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason.
And then we had to wait 11 years. Oh, fun fact, Freddy versus Jason came out, premiered on the exact day I was born.
Oh, nice.
So,
I also Here's actually another thing about that movie. It was apparently supposed to have more involving with the end. It was supposed to be their Pinhead was supposed to be in the end of it,
hmm,
signifying that it was supposed to be him versus them as well. They're like there's supposed to be like more things coming up,
hmm,
but I guess it just never happened. Like there was like we did get comics out of it, but like nothing else besides that.
yeah. Well, actually, if you watch part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, you can see the Necronomicon in it, which means that it's also in the same universe as the Evil Dead.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
we
I
could
guess
we
that would
could
be
have
the case.
gotten Freddy versus Jason versus Pinhead versus Pumpkinhead versus Ash.
I do believe there was supposed to be one with Ash as well.
Yeah.
I think there is actually a comic though of Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
There's
I think I know
not
there's
sure
Freddy
about
versus
that one.
I know there's Jason versus Leatherface
Yeah.
and some others. And doesn't this really wouldn't count as comics or anything? There is, of course, if you watch Death Battle, there's like one made of Jason versus Michael Myers, which is actually a good watch.
Nobody's mentioned Death Battle since like 2016.
Yeah, but
back when the Superman versus Goku
oh, I didn't care for that one.
came
But
out.
anyway, um, here's a good fun fact of the Friday the 13th series. It was actually not supposed to be focused on Jason. actually the whole thing, kind of like Halloween, was supposed to have each movie be its own little story
Yeah,
of different things, but Jason becoming like the main focus, that's all really that kept it going.
yeah,
Kind of like how Michael Myers with Halloween is that.
yeah.
Because really, the first
The
two,
Halloween series could have been so good if they had just ditched Michael Myers.
oh yeah,
Not
and
a Halloween fan. Sorry.
yeah, because like yeah, the first movie, it had Jason's mother being the baddie. Second one was Jason, and then after I think it was just like after they brought it back for the third one, it just kept on going for that.
Yeah. Then they had the hockey mask in the third one, and they had to just keep going with it.
Oh
But
yeah,
I'd rather watch any of the Friday the 13th over a Halloween movie. So
oh yeah, same here. I do know there was a television series called Friday the 13th. Now, I don't know if that had any connection to this. I just remember seeing a video connect with Friday the 13th of Jason, where there was this like TV show called Friday the 13th that takes place in like some antique shop, but there's like no Jason at all.
yeah, I don't think that's connected. I've never heard of that one. I knew there was a plan to make a Crystal Lake TV show,
I would watch that.
and I believe it was supposed to be set with the remake that came out in 2009.
I would actually still watch that. I mean, like, because I don't know if any others did, but I do know Ghostface had that or like the Scream had their own
Yeah,
TV show.
the Scream TV show was. I didn't make it past the first season.
I did watch this first season because I didn't know about it much, and I didn't care. It was when I was living with my aunt at one point. I watched like the next other show episodes of it, and it was a good watch.
I didn't
The
like
ma-
the
the whole
mask they used
I
for the
think it
show.
was due to legal reasons. They had like
Yeah,
changed up,
they changed it back in later seasons. I know that,
right?
but yeah, I mean they could have gone with a different mask the whole show. I didn't care. I just wish the writing was better.
Here's the something you should know about Jason. Do you want to know his original name was actually supposed to be before they was chosen Jason?
What was it?
Josh Voorhees.
Josh. Jason is much better.
Definitely. Um,
I just pictured Josh from Drake and Josh with a hockey mask holding him. Eddie.
it's gonna take some time to realize.
Friday the 13th was Kevin Bacon's first movie.
Kevin Bacon, Kevin Bacon, Kevin Bacon.
And if you don't know Kevin Bacon, then you might recognize him from. Oh, I don't have it with me. All right. Well, he was the star of a little picture from 1990 called Tremors.
Oh, okay.
So he had that going for him. One of my
Actually,
favorite movies ever.
here's one thing I knew. I don't know if I got the right guy name, but let me see if I think it was um where was it? Where was it? Trying to find the actor. Was it Ken Kersinger who was Jason, Freddy vs. Jason?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't.
I know the guy who played Freddy or not Freddy, Jason in Freddy versus Jason was in Jason Takes Manhattan. He was the short order cook that Jason threw into the window.
Okay. Well, actually, now I remember. Okay, okay. So actually, I was thinking about the wrong actor in a way. Kane Hodder, the guy who was Jason in
Mhm.
many of the films, he also was Leatherface in some at one point too.
Yeah, he was Leatherface in I want to say the third movie. No,
I'm
not the third movie. He was Leatherface though. I know that.
I'm searching up right now. Three, I think.
The third one?
I'm assuming so.
Oh,
He played Leatherface during the stunts of Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 and the motion capture in the video game of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
yeah. See, Kane Hodder, he got started with stunt work. Then he made his way to like the upper
Hmm.
echelon of stuntmen. and well, he got cast in pretty much everything horror
Mm,
related after that.
mm. And one thing also that I like that I like to know with Jason. So of course we know Jason has a Friday the 13th video game on the on on like PC and Xbox and all of that.
Hmm.
And of course he actually had his first video game on the Nintendo where
Yeah,
he actually looks different. Like they gave him like a blue mask and purple skin and everything like that.
yeah,
And you can actually can unlock that design that he had with the music he that play in the background as a
in the
skin
new game.
in the video game, which I like a lot. That's
Yeah,
actually one of
no,
my favorite skins.
that's a fun little detail.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite skins just because of the freaking music that plays whenever you see him.
Yeah, no, I actually I clocked in quite a few hours in that game. I liked it more than Dead by Daylight, I think. But
I like both the games, but I would definitely prefer Friday the 13th. I suck at that game though. I am the easiest person to kill in those games.
yeah,
And
I need to get the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
you can if you have an Xbox One, you probably don't. I can see a PlayStation 4 behind you.
Yeah,
But if you have the Xbox One and you have like the Xbox Live with the Play Game Pass, you can get it for free with the Game Pass.
yeah.
So lucky me with that one. Um, oh damn, I had some. Oh yeah, so actually, here's one thing I found out. So of course you know how there's the sound he makes the kiki mama ma noise, which means kill 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 mama mom
Yeah.
because he's talking to his mother. When and one of the I'm gonna kill my cat with it. We're off. Whatever. Anyway, and which one was it? I'm trying to remember. The one that where they have Jason be Todd or is it Thomas? The one he's the one guy in the video game you can become who helps you
Oh,
fight.
from the fifth movie, the imposter Jason.
Yeah, the Apostle Jason. Tommy Jarvis.
Oh, not
Um,
Tommy isn't Jason, but
no, but like in the end
Roy was his name.
they do end it with like making him think like, oh, he's gonna be Jason.
Yeah.
They changed the sound of the kiki ta ma 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 to kiki ta ta ta
To
for
kill
like no
Tommy.
kill 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 tom tom tom.
Hmm. I don't think I ever noticed that.
I didn't notice it either. I found this out by watching, like, because I like to watch a bunch of these videos of people like, hey, top 10 stuff you didn't know about this thing.
Hmm.
And yeah, that was one of them, which I thought was pretty cool. Oh, here's a question I have. What's one of your favorite deaths or like murders in the movies?
In any movie?
I would choose a specific one because I have a specific one, but I would say any one of them if you have
Oh
one.
man, there's so many.
Well, while you're thinking, I'll tell you mine. It's I think it's the first one. One of my favorites is where after these two couples are busy having fun, um, one of the guys has a hand come over to his mouth and a freaking spear goes out through his neck.
Mm, that's
That's a really
that's
cool one.
Kevin Bacon.
That's Kevin Bacon. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So yeah,
from
Kevin
the
Bacon's
from the
death
first movie. Yeah.
then yeah, there we go. Yeah, Kevin Bacon's death is my favorite death.
Hmm. From Friday the 13th, I'd have to say if you've seen the like behind the scenes footage, like the uncut stuff from part 7,
Mm.
that movie could have been so good because it had some of the greatest effects for the time
Wasn't
of the
that one like
studio.
where he has like where he doesn't like have a relative or something or
No,
no,
it
it has a
was
telekinetic woman.
yeah, it was uh pitched as a Jason versus Carrie.
I've never actually finished the movie. I've always made it to like I made it through the beginning, like near the end, but I never got to finish the whole thing because
It's
something
one
would
of those
happen.
movies where you either like it or you hate it.
I had nothing to get bad against it. I just never got a chance to finish the
It's my
damn
favorite
thing.
Jason design. I gotta say that is with the boat motor and the exposed skeleton and stuff.
Oh yeah, I like it when he looks more not I guess like more like he's been in use.
Yeah. My favorite kill from the series. I don't know. The one that's popping up is the one from part 3 where he crushes the guy's head and his eyeball pokes out.
Oh, okay.
Even though that
Oh yeah,
one's so
when it's
bad,
all supposed to be so 3D.
but it's the one that stands out the most to me. Part 3 was the first one I saw, and that was like the most gory thing I've ever seen up to that point in my life when I watched it. So
Right.
I guess for nostalgia, I'll say that one.
Yeah. I actually one thing I've noticed too is like I was watching like a documentary on the making of the first Friday the 13th. Some of the actors or actresses really did not think anyone was going to watch the movie.
Yeah,
The mom, like
and
the one who played the mom, only went to work there because she wanted a new car,
mm,
and she didn't think anyone was going to watch it. And
yeah,
then one of the actresses, who I believe was the one who had the sex scene with Kevin Bacon, she also was afraid of actually doing the sex scene, but then just went with it because she didn't think anyone was going to see the movie anyway.
mm. And here we are, 43 years later, two fat guys talking about it.
Hmm.
Um, if you had to pick a favorite of, oh wait, we already did that one, didn't we?
Of the movies?
Yeah, if you had
Yeah,
to
we did
pick,
at the beginning. Oh, a favorite? How about your favorite design of Jason?
I already part seven,
Okay,
part
I
seven.
would see. For me, that's a tough one. I'm not really. I would probably say Freddy versus Jason.
That's a cool one. I still think seven is the best though.
I I,
But
I believe that's
Freddy
the one
versus
I just.
Jason's the most
I believe that's
iconic
the
one.
Jason I dressed up as for Halloween at one point.
Hmm.
It's like we like I had this green coat and everything. It all went well with the mask and all that.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
Let's all right. We don't have to just talk about Friday the 13th. What's your favorite slasher movie,
Ooh,
just in general?
that's a toughie, actually. I would probably have to say Freddy versus Jason because I can't really think of others at the moment. Um, Either that one or maybe Nightmare on Elm Street, like the first one.
That's one of my favorites. Um,
Yeah, I like Freddy Krueger and all that stuff too. I mean,
speaking
but I also
of slashers, I just watched Psycho not too long ago,
mm, wasn't it like the
and that
first original Psycho,
it's it's kind of like the progenitor to the modern slasher movie, like
right?
before Texas Chainsaw and before Halloween.
Yeah,
Psych,
I
it was really good.
I would also actually say like I guess even though it's like a really goofy movie and I'm sure not many people really care for it, I really do like the Leprechaun series.
Hey, nothing wrong with liking the Leprechaun.
I mean, also it's Warwick Davis, who you can't blame him.
Everybody loves Warwick Davis.
Yeah, why not? And the first one had Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. Um, I like the Child's Play series a lot more than I thought I would when I started watching it.
So of course as a kid I was always afraid of like any kind of horror film. So when I saw Child's Play, I was afraid of watching it.
Mm,
Actually the first one I seen was The Curse of Chucky, which scared me a few times as
same.
a kid.
I see my I used to be afraid of literally everything that even resembled horror. And
Hmm.
then I grew a pair and I decided to watch The Curse of Chucky. It was after I had been exposed to, all the horror stuff I love now. Like um
I'm still not the biggest fan of horror movies. I
yeah,
prefer mainly slasher genre. Like,
yeah,
it has to have to be a slasher.
yeah.
I do like Chucky movies. I've seen the first one, second one, third one. I've seen Curse of Chuck. I've seen I think I've seen all of them except for the remake where he's in some animatronic thing
Hmm.
and except for The Bride of Chucky. I haven't seen that one yet.
I've seen all of them except for Cult of Chucky, and that's it. I or the TV show.
I didn't even know there was a TV show.
Oh
Damn.
yeah, there's a TV show.
Yeah, I've
The
seen.
remake
Yeah,
wasn't very bad. It's different though.
I've not seen it, but it just didn't seem like it would be my cup of tea.
Yeah,
Then again, I usually notice like whenever a slasher has been remade, they're usually not as looked on like in a positive way by many
no,
people.
most of them aren't good. The good ones, um, the Friday the 13th remake, which is the best of the slasher remakes,
Never seen that
and
one yet.
and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which isn't as good as the original, but
It's been
it's
like remade
still
like ten
okay.
thousand times though.
Um, the Friday the 13th one, if you haven't seen it, it's pretty much just like a greatest hits compilation of the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh yeah.
It's worth it.
I I don't know if it counts as a slasher, but I have seen the remake of the Children of the Corn.
Which one?
Oh shit, I didn't know there was more.
Yeah.
It's I don't remember. It's like one where there's like this couple that get lost and and I guess at one point I think the husband dies and then this pregnant wife ends up staying at this place that's owned by this old man who has a bunch of other women there.
Hmm.
I don't
I don't
remember which
think
one
I've
it
seen that
was.
one. That might be the newest remake of it.
I don't even know anymore.
None
It was
of
a
the
while
Children of the
ago.
Corn movies are good. I have the short story. The short story is okay, but
Yeah.
none of the
I,
movies are
I
good.
I do know that one of the actors, I can't remember what his name was, but I'm like one of the actors who was like the cult leader child of Children of the Corn, was also a stunt double actor for the moving Chucky.
Hmm.
Actually, there was two of them, but he's the one I remember, and they did some really like big stunts, like setting him on fire,
Hmm.
dropping him off like like really high heights, which actually hurt him.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Let's see who. Hopefully, this doesn't close the meeting. Oh, can't man. Okay. All right, but yeah, I know who you're talking about from the original one.
Actually, let me see if I can. I can probably just like search him up and see who was the stunt body actor for Chucky. Edward Gale? Is that it?
That doesn't seem right. Let's see.
Let me see. Oh no, that's oh one. That's one of the actors. There was two. Okay, okay. Edward Gale and there was someone else. Yeah, yeah. There was Edward Gale and then there was another person, which I can't find. What the hell? He seems to be the only one credited here as well, but there were two of them.
John Franklin.
Okay. Yeah. Also, on while we're still talking about like other slasher stuff, I one thing I'd like to also point out is the fact you probably know this one, but the guy so when Friday not Friday when Nightmare on Elm Street aired as also being one it was made and was one of the movies that had um why can't I think of his name? What the hell? Uh Johnny Depp as his first one of his first movie roles.
That was
One the guy
Nightmare. Yeah.
yeah on the first Nightmare on Elm Street. The guy, so he actually went there with the help of a friend get the role. I forgot the name of the actor, but you'll know who I'm talking about probably soon. But his friend went there to audition, but he didn't get the part.
Hmm.
Instead, Johnny Depp did. But later on, the friend who auditioned ended up becoming the Freddy Krueger in the remake.
Mm, okay. Yeah, he was Rorschach in Watchmen, the
Let me see
actor.
what. Yeah, who was? I did actually see the Nightmare on the Elm Street remake, or at least I've seen parts of it. It didn't seem bad, but I can probably see why people weren't into it
He
as much.
it's just not Robert Englund.
Yeah.
He's the only Freddy Krueger for me.
Uh, Jackie Earl Haley, I think is
Yeah.
what it says right here.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. He wasn't Robert Englund.
Yeah. It's actually funny though because also Robert England wasn't even the exact like person wanted for the role they got because who made Friday the 13th? I mean not who made Nightmare on Elm Street?
Wes
What's his name?
Craven.
Thank you, Wes Craven. I'm really bad with names at times. When Wes Craven made it, he wanted an older man,
Mhm,
and even at one point, he even wanted a burn victim actually being Freddy because no, Freddy was supposed to be a burn victim anyway.
mhm.
And when all he wasn't getting the actors that were fitting the role that he wanted, later on he just saw Robert England. It worked.
Robert Englund is such a good actor.
Yeah.
I
Also,
I love that guy.
I found this out too. In effect, in one of the movies where it shows how Jason, not Jason, why am I even saying how Freddy was born with how his mother was a nun who got
Mhm.
tu- you know
Yeah, we don't like those movies.
attacked by a bunch of other inmates. Apparently, one of the actors who were the inmates was Freddy, was Robert England.
Mm. Oh yeah, no, I noticed that it was in the fourth one, I believe,
I don't know. I haven't
or
seen
maybe
all
it
of
was
them
the third
yet.
one.
As far as I'm concerned, the only collections of slashers I have is the Friday the 13th and Leprechaun.
Hmm.
I need to get more. uh, I do know also Freddy Krueger was actually the name actually was the name of Wes Craven's bully that he had growing up. Like a lot of Freddy Krueger's like stuff was inspired by either things that scared Wes Craven already
Hmm.
or just other things like how the old man with the hat was based off of a man he's seen as a kid who would like walk out in the dark drunk and at one point even stared up at him at the window at one point he had that hat that Freddy wears.
Yeah,
And then
there was an actual real life Frederick Kruger who was from somewhere in Europe, and he was a hypnotist with a traveling circus over here in the States in the 1800s, early
hmm,
1900s.
never heard
Excuse
of
me.
him.
And he would hypnotize women and do bad things to them.
Oh, I see.
So he also wore the hat like
Mm.
Freddy Krueger does. So
I also know that there was another thing going around where there were people who actually were having bad dreams,
mm-hmm,
and it was like there was like a medical condition involved with this, where people would have bad dreams and actually would end up dying in their sleep,
mm-hmm,
which was also another inspiration for this, as well as cats being the inspiration for his weapons.
mm-hmm. Yeah, there was another inspiration for Freddy Krueger's claws. Is there were some people that would have such bad nightmares, and this was like before we understood about dreams and stuff. But they would freak out so bad in their dreams they'd claw at themselves. So they'd wake up.
Mm.
Oh, Zoom call's ending in 10 minutes. All right, but they'd wake up and they had these huge scratch marks all over them.
Oh man, yeah.
So and people would think it was demons or something, but
Oh yeah. Hey, great inspirations though. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy. There's a lot of like crazy things that like come out. Like if you ever were to find out like how these characters were made, there's a lot of things that like people have taken from other things. I don't know much about how Jason came to be as much of being made. But I do know like with other people, like yeah, Freddy Krueger was that. Chucky, his three real names being Charles Lee Ray, were
mhm,
named after actually three historical bad people. I believe
yeah,
two of them were both known for murdering people like Martin Luther King, and I believe even the president during the
yeah.
time of Martin Luther King Jr.
And doesn't Charles come from Charles Manson?
I I don't think so.
And
Maybe I,
then
I think they're all like were like evil people. I think I think one of them was a terrorist too. One of the names was a part of a terrorist name. I don't know
well, I
though. I
mean
need
Charles Manson, depending on how you looked at him, he kind of was a terrorist.
to.
Lee Harvey Oswald, yeah, He's the one who killed
Yeah,
Freddy.
Lee Harvey. Yeah,
And Ray, I don't know anybody named Ray.
I think that was a last name for someone also.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff about Chucky that you can look into, and it's pretty weird.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of voodoo in the first one also. Actually, a lot of voodoo in the three of them, or
Yeah.
even all of them. Think about it, I guess, because the how he's trying to change bodies with people and all that.
Mm.
I do like Candyman also, like with how like the story's told and stuff. And I believe it's supposed to be based off a book too,
Is it?
right? I think so. I remember like I don't think it's called Candyman in the book. I think it's like something else, but I believe the story was inspired by that. And I
See,
think it was like supposed to
I
take
thought he
place like
was just I thought he was just based on Bloody Mary.
I think that's the other part of it, but I don't know. Like I believe the story of him was like mixed with maybe a bit of both,
Hmm. All right.
which was pretty cool.
Well, we better wrap this up, Dev. You have anything else you want to add or any
Oh yeah, here's
departing
one.
words of
Okay.
wisdom?
This might be a bit controversial for some people, but Freddie should have won that fight.
He did
He
though.
was
He
so
did.
close
He
to
did
winning. The
die.
only reason he lost was because those freaking kids got in the way.
Eh,
He
eh,
should have won.
eh. All right. All right. You wanna? No, excuse me. You wanna plug your YouTube or socials or anything?
Sure, yeah. If you're interested in my stuff, I make skits and random videos. Just go to Mr. Wacko, spelled Mr. Mr. dot Wacko for Mr. Wacko. That's where I make my stuff. Um, Really, that's it. I don't have anything special with my other social medias because I don't really do much with them. And yeah, and just enjoy my stuff. I do whatever really.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this talk with me, Dev.
Oh yeah, no
And
problem. Anytime.
thank you all for watching. And have a great night.
Yeah. And happy Friday the 13th, even though you probably won't see this on Friday the 13th.
Ooh.